It was way back when I was still in the ministry, pastoring a local church that's just up the road a few kilometers. And I think it must have been around 2005, maybe, or sooner, or earlier. And I had just read a book by Philip Zimbardo called The Lucifer Effect. Now, Philip Zimbardo was the professor who did the experiments in the basement of a Stanford U building, where they used some students as guards and other students as prisoners. And within a day or two, they had to shut down the experiment because the guards had become so abusive. And even though they were role playing, and that led him to develop his theory called the Lucifer effect, where when you can put good people into bad situations, and the bad situation can pull down the morality and the ethics of the people involved, even good people. And he ended up becoming an expert witness in like the Abu Ghraib cases, where good men and women, soldiers in the prisons, would, be reduced to inflicting cruel and abusive behavior upon the prisoners there. And while I was pastoring, I read that book, and it just sort of opened my eyes to the reality of systemic evil. And it was then that I really started to realize that even though I myself might not be inflicting abuse upon people, I could be cooperating with a system that did, and that somehow I was complicit in the abuse of people in the church just because I was part and parcel and even a hand of the system, and that the people who were suffering maybe in the church were suffering because of the system, and I was participating in that. Anyway, it was an eye-opening experience. I even wrote to Zimbardo an email, and I said, listen, I'm a pastor of the church, and these same things apply not just to prisons, but to churches and all kinds of systems. And he wrote me back. I was thrilled and agreed that this dynamic, the gravitational pull towards the dehumanization of people in a system, and that we can, even if we're good people, somehow participate in that erosion of morality and ethics and abuse the people in that system. That was quite an eye-opening experience for me, and I recommend the book.